I'm Bistra Stoimenova, student code 1607547, and this is my oral presentation for MA Photography at Falmouth University. First of all, who I am and what motivates me. I'm a 25-year-old self-taught photographer from Bulgaria, and my photographic journey started in 2009 when I got my first digital camera. Then I went with my family to Crete Island in Greece, and I discovered that I liked seeing the world through the lens. Later on, when I had to upload my work in several websites, I met with some negative critique from my peers, who told me that I'm not good enough and I shouldn't be doing any photography ever again. That motivated me to prove them wrong and show them that I'm not only good enough, but better than them. The motivation to prove people that I'm worth, was the first reason I took up photography. Later on, as photography became a passion for me, I discovered my motivation as a photographer. My first reason was to show the beauty of the world to others, and the second one, as cliched as it may sound, was to tell stories with my images. A picture says 1,000 words, but you need to have a decent picture to tell a story. As a photographer, I'd like to think of myself as a versatile one, because I do travel and landscapes, but also food and macro photography. So unlike what some of my colleagues have said that I should specialize in one genre only, I prefer to be more flexible and to be able to capture much more of the spirit of the place through its different aspects. So, we come to the second part of my presentation, which should show who or what inspires me and why. As I mentioned in the previous slides, I'm a self-taught photographer, so the first places I showcased my work were the online photo communities. One of the first international websites I uploaded my work to was 500pics.com. It's a wonderful platform to showcase your work, but as I progressed, I turned to other websites as well. I found this one, 35photo.ru, which is not only a photographic website, but a photo club. In order to be eligible to upload an image, you have to upload a whole portfolio, and this portfolio has to be approved by other members, and that only to be able to upload a single image to the website. It is highly competitive and it really improves your style. As my work progressed, I found photographers I looked up to. One of the first of them was Amos Chappie, a New Zealand photographer, and I was fascinated by his project about Oymyakon region in Russia, which shows a place in the midst of winter in minus 50 degrees Celsius, but still shows the beauty of the cold and the beauty of the people who battle with the cold each year. As you can see in the image to the right, this photographer managed not only to capture the spirit of the place, but also to make it beautiful and enticing to other viewers. The second photographer I look up to is not exactly famous, but I love the way she works with light. Her name is Findley, and she is from Australia. As you can see in the image, she uses the light to emphasize on patterns and shapes of her landscapes. I also love the way she uses human beings to add scale and to make the viewer want to be part of the image. The third photographer I look up to is João Santos, and I admire him for his ability to capture the atmosphere of the place, no matter where he is, at a volcano or visiting a market. I love the way he manages to portray people, as you can see in this image here, and also show not only the person, but his character, plus the place where he lives, and thus reflect the whole spirit of the place. So, in my work, I intend to incorporate all three approaches. Use light and be able to capture the true spirit of the place and the people who live there. This leads to my plans for a research project to date. Since I live in the Balkans, I decided to show the Balkans to the rest of the world as they really are, because there are some misconceptions in the way the Balkans are portrayed to the outsiders. The Balkans are much more than a holiday destination. The picture you see on the slide is taken in 2016 on Tassos Island, Greece, and shows what most people think Greece is like: sea, sand, and summer. But it has much more to show. Generally, the Balkans are much more than cheap alcohol, resorts, sea, and sand. They have rich cultural, historical, and even natural heritage worth visiting. That leads to the idea of my project entitled Culture Crossroads, in which I intend to explore, first of all, the historical heritage of the area. The image you see here is taken at a Thracian temple in Bulgaria. The natural sights to see as well. The image you see is one of the biggest waterfalls in Bulgaria, really easy to access and really beautiful to see. And of course, the cultural heritage, because the Balkans are actually the cradle of European civilization. The image you see on the slide is from a monastery, part of UNESCO World Heritage, which is famous for the fresco you see to the right, entitled The Wheel of Life, which shows the life cycle of a human being from birth till death. Since I don't have the time or the funds to visit all countries on the Balkan Peninsula, I selected a few of them for the project. The first of the countries, of course, is my home country, Bulgaria. Here is an example of a picture from Bulgaria. This is the biggest monastery on the Balkan Peninsula, Rila Monastery, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site since the 1970s. The second country I selected is Greece, because there are too many stereotypes associated with the country. Here is a picture from Greece. This is a place called Aliki on Tassos Island, and it is one of the first marble quarries in Europe. The third country I selected is Romania, again because of the stereotypes. Most people think Romania is all about Dracula and forests, but it has much more to show. Here is an image from a place in Romania called Sighișoara, which is known as the birthplace of Vlad Dracula, but it's actually famous for its unique architecture, as you can see in the image. Having said all that, I want to thank you for your attention. As with any presentation, I have a list of figures. As you can see, figures 1 to 4 show the images that are not mine. Anything else is taken by me within 2009-2017. And of course, here is the list of references. Thank you again for your attention.